It wasn't even that late, but she turned everything off anyway. Elena looked at the clock. 8:17 p.m., not late, not even close. The kind of time where most people were just starting to relax. Dinner, TV, messages, plans. But her apartment felt different, quiet in a way that didn't ask for anything. She stood in the middle of the living room for a second, not doing anything, not thinking about anything specific, just there. The lights were still on, soft, warm, normal. And yet something about them felt unnecessary. She walked to the switch, paused. Not because she wasn't sure, but because she noticed it. The moment, the decision. Then she turned the lights off. The room shifted instantly, not darker in a heavy way, just softer, calmer, like everything had taken a step back. She sat down on the couch. No TV, no phone, no music, just silence. At first it felt unusual, not uncomfortable, just unfamiliar, because most nights were filled with something, background noise, distractions, movement. But tonight, there was none of that. She leaned back slowly, exhaled, and let the quiet settle. Outside, faint sounds still existed. A car passing, someone walking, a distant door closing, life continuing, but inside, nothing was happening, and that was new. Eleanor pulled her legs closer, wrapped her arms around them, not out of sadness, not out of fear, just instinct, comfort. She looked around the room, the outlines of familiar things, the table, the chair, the shelf she never reorganized. Everything exactly where it always was. Nothing changed, and yet something felt different. Because she wasn't trying to fill the space, she wasn't reaching for something to do, she wasn't escaping the silence. She was staying in it, and slowly, it stopped feeling empty. It started feeling full of presence, full of stillness, full of something she hadn't noticed in a long time. Herself. She closed her eyes for a moment, not to sleep, just to pause. Her breathing slowed, her shoulders relaxed. The tension she hadn't noticed began to disappear. No notifications, no expectations, no one waiting, no one asking, just time. And for once, that didn't feel like something missing. It felt like something given. Elena opened her eyes again. The room hadn't changed, still quiet, still dim, still hers. She stood up slowly, walked to the kitchen, poured a glass of water. The sound echoed slightly, small, clear, real. She leaned against the counter, took a sip, and stayed there for a moment. Not rushing, not thinking ahead, just existing. Then she walked back, sat down again, the same place, the same silence. But now, it felt familiar, comfortable, like something she could return to, not something to avoid. She looked at the clock again. 8:34 p.m. Still early. Still time left in the night. But she didn't feel the need to use it. Not every hour needs to be filled. Not every night needs to be productive. Sometimes, rest is not about sleep. It's about permission. permission to stop, to pause, to not be anything for a while. Elena stood up one last time, walked toward the hallway, paused again, looked back at the room, dark, quiet, still. And she didn't feel alone. She felt present. She walked into her bedroom, didn't turn on the light, just lay down, pulled the blanket over her, closed her eyes, not because she was tired, but because she was ready to let the day end without needing anything else from it, because sometimes peace doesn't come from doing more. It comes from finally doing nothing.